Welcome to Friday Night Live, where today we're going to be working on a vintage Santa wreath, and we're going to go over housekeeping really quick and make sure that we've got everything on. I'll go over all the supplies, and hopefully we'll get this up and going fairly quickly. Let me make sure that I can read your comments. So, okay, why are you not doing this? There we go. It's coming. It's just a little slow. Let's see. Here we go. Let me go ahead and post everything that I need to. Okay. So I was putting this design together last minute. I was actually going to work on a winery wreath, but for some reason I cannot locate my sign, and I just spelled that wrong. Hang on 1 second. I gotta figure out a way to get this to just go all on its own, and I'm sure there's a way to do it. It's just gonna take me a hot minute to figure it out. Pin that one. Hi, Pat from Maryland. Welcome. Thanks for joining. Let me go ahead and delete this one because that's not how we spell correctly. So what we're working on today, like I said, we're doing vintage, kind of like retro Santa Christmas wreath. We're doing the traditional colors of red, white, and green. But before we get started, a couple of housekeeping items that are important for you. One, if you want to save this tutorial and you're on Facebook, just hit the share button down below. It'll take this tutorial, conveniently map it over to your Facebook page where you'll have it available when you're ready to put one together of your own. For YouTube subscribers, super simple, just click the save button, provided that you're logged into your YouTube account, and you'll be able to access all of your saved videos that way. Also, to be notified when I go live, which is every Tuesday at 4 Pacific and every Friday at 5 p.m. Pacific, make sure that you have liked this page and that you're also following the page. Follow button is hidden. It's the 3 little dots to the right hand side. Will open a sub menu, and then you can go ahead and just verify that you are in fact following the page, and then should I go live, you happen to be on your device, you will get a notification. YouTube subscribers a little bit different. You'll just simply be notified whenever I have a new video that is uploaded to my YouTube channel. So just make sure that you hit the subscribe button. And now we're going and gonna get ready. So Elizabeth says it must still be hot in your workshop. So yes, we have a twofold issue. Number one, the current temperature for today is sitting right now currently at 91. We have about a 50 to 60% humidity, which is just making it unbearable. So it probably like real feels like 96, which is just ugly. And we have 3 fires that are around us. And so the air quality is horrible. So you can just smell it outside. And I feel absolutely horrible for our chickens who unfortunately have to sit out there and deal with it. But I think we're supposed to see a break in the weather next week. So I'm hopeful I'll be in my shop all next week, and we'll be back and ready to go. Hi, Darlene. Hi, Pam. Welcome. Hi, Donna. Hi, Jan. So let me go over all the materials. We're using a 14-inch Dollar Tree wreath frame. We'll be using this 12-inch Merry Christmas vintage retro Santa sign that you can pick up at Craft Outlet. I believe that they still have these in stock. We will be creating our deco mesh base with a wide foil, emerald green deco mesh. These will all be cut to 20-inch pieces. In addition to that, the ribbons that I have selected for today are these ribbon combinations, and I haven't decided what color to incorporate in the bow yet, but we're going to be doing this holly print with a chenille furry edge, pairing that with a spread with a little snowball edge. It's kind of cute. And then we're doing the traditional Christmas plaid with the gold, with the mistletoe slash holly slash pine ribbon. And so those are the basic ribbons that I have selected for our design. So we're gonna go ahead and get started with finishing how to wire our frame. If you guys need a tutorial on how to do it, the whole thing, if you go over to my YouTube channel and simply search for how to wire a 14-inch Dollar Tree wreath frame, you'll find, I think it's a 15-minute video that walks you through how to go ahead and do the 5 sections. We're going to do the last one here today, which is the Dollar Tree wreath frame is made up of 4 rails. The inside one I refer to as rail 1. Each of the sections can accommodate 3 pipe cleaners, so we're going to start with the one in the middle. We have these welds that separate the sections. So we're going to wrap our first pipe cleaner around rail 1 and 2. Kind of just find a midway point for those. Go ahead and twist that on. Then we're going to do the same for the outside 2 using the weld and that pipe cleaner we just put in there to put one here, and then we're going to do another one on the opposite side. And this is just a guide. You could wire it together honestly any which way that you would like. This gives you 6 on the inside, 12 to the outside, grand total of 18. Because we're working with a 12-inch sign, we will be removing the 6 inside pipe cleaners because that's going to all be occupied by the sign space. And so we're going to do the ruffle technique. I was able to cut this deco mesh with a wood burning tool, and we are going to be rolling this or gathering this towards us, kind of imagining a middle line right up the center. You're going to gather and pull towards you, and sometimes your mesh is going to kind of wobble to the left, to the right. It's okay. We're going to take the finished edge. We're going to do the inside 6 first, so then we can go ahead and remove our pipe cleaners. We're going to just lay this right inside. I want to make sure, though, that it is even. And give it a couple twists, twists, twists. Go ahead and remove the excess. We're going to tuck this back into the center. Hi, Cheryl. She says, a little late, but I made it. No worries. Okay, we're going to go ahead and grab our next piece. Should have remembered that deco mesh likes to catch on fuzzy sweaters, long sleeve shirts, whatever you happen to have. It likes to grab that. And so we're going to go ahead and twist this one. You can see how a lot of times it'll go right through the pipe cleaners, right through our mesh. And twist that one back down. Go ahead and do our next one. You can just take the outside ones if they happen to just constantly keep getting in the way, then pushing those flat. Okay, lay that one right on the inside. Couple twists. And again, fan that out. What kind of bag is holding my mesh? It is actually just a shopping bag because I have them in my shop. Cheryl. So when I was cutting the mesh, I didn't really want to just grab them all and try to cart 18. So I just rolled them up and kind of stood them up in the bag. So this way they can stay in the bag instead of rolling off my table. It also made it super easy for me to bring it back into the house because I didn't want to bring my wood burning tool in here and do it. I just did everything in the shop this morning while it was nice and cool. So just a plastic bag. Nothing high tech. I was actually looking for just a brown, larger opened, like shopping bag with the handles you can get from like Hobby Lobby. And I wasn't able to find it. Because I was like, go in really quick, get my supplies, because it's like 95 degrees in my shop right now. And it's like an oven. So I was like, nope. We are just going to go in, figure out what I need and get out. Right? Robin, it looks this way, but it is just going to be the regular way that I do my 14-inch wire frames. I'm just doing the inside 6 first. So it always looks like it could be a pancake wreath. Okay, so the 6 on the inside are done. So now I'm going to move these and grab my outside pipe cleaners. And I'm going to do the 2 in each section so that we can get all 18 pieces in here. Jan says, what size wreath form should I use with an 8-inch sign? It's all just going to depend on what are you going to put in it. Are you going to add a bow? Are you going to add 2 bows? Are you going to add any embellishments with it? Those are all like my deciding factors. That also helps me determine what method deco mesh I want to use. For example, if I use an 8-inch sign, I'm going to generally probably think that I'm going to put at least 1 bow, maybe 2. It just depends on like what's on the sign, where the wording is there a graphic that would be impacted if I had parts of my bow overlap that? Am I going to be adding like, depends on, you know, the types of embellishments I'm going to put on. Where's that going to impact? Are you going to put ribbon tails, half bows, full bows? But generally for me, I always use the 14-inch just because they're universal. They're easy to get a hold of. But you can do 16-inch. You can use a 12-inch. I just find that the 14-inch is pretty universal. Right, Cheryl? That's me. I really like using the 8-inch signs on a 14-inch frame because it does give you an awful lot of workable space, depending upon what you want to put in it. Like I can usually put a really good bow in. You know, like if we're doing the gingerbread wreath, I can add maybe a gingerbread cookie or 2. I can add a plush. I can add a wreath attachment. I can add some Christmas bulbs or whatever. It just is a really good size. Will that fit between a screen door and a regular door? Darlene, it will depend on the spacing between your regular door and the screen door. This wreath, by the time I finish it, will be 5.5 inches in diameter. or not in diameter, 5.5 inches deep. So if you have 5.5 inches between your screen door and your front door, then yeah, it would fit. Okay. So I'm just making sure I don't forget any. Yeah, I love this emerald green. It is a favorite of mine. And the wide foil is just downright gorgeous. Oh, and I can't wait to share with you guys the Wreath of the Month design that's coming for September. Oh, it is definitely Retro Santa. And I don't even think that kit is gonna make it very long. But I will keep you guys posted as soon as that kit comes available. I think we're gonna have somewhere between 14 to 20 kits available. And then we'll end up putting it together, I think the last Thursday of the month. But I was super excited because at first I didn't like the original design. I'm not a leopard person. Leopard's okay, but I don't like having leopard for every holiday. And so that seemed to be pretty predominant in a lot of the new stuff that was coming out for Christmas, and I didn't like it. I was like, I'm just not feeling that. It's nice for the every other generic kind of person who might be looking for something a little bit different, but I think for the overall person, I'm not really seeing the color. Like, I didn't like the color. I didn't like the ribbon, and I'm so picky. I mean, I think we talked about this. When did we talk about this? Wednesday. Was it Wednesday? Or I think it was yesterday. I think yesterday in my Wreath of the Month group, we were just talking about how I'm really disappointed with the quality of the ribbons that we're seeing that are available for us for holidays. Like, you can pretty much find red, white, and green ribbon, but as far as finding cute themed holiday ribbon, oh, it is so hard. Like, when I was trying to find the right color ribbon for this Retro Santa, I wasn't finding anything I liked. And I'm like, whatever happened to all the Santa ribbon? There was always Santa ribbon. And so, I don't know. Ever since 2020, I just feel like the supply chain has kind of been challenged to find good quality things. Like, when I'm doing a Christmas wreath, I don't want to just put red and green and white ribbon in. I want it to be Christmas ribbon. Right, Cheryl? She said, I would only use leopard if somebody asked for it specifically. That is a really good analogy. Sometimes using a lot of those trendy things, I would be 100% all in if that's what somebody specifically asked for. I'm like, I can make that work. But for the general, I'm thinking it's just going to be mostly trendy. It's the one-off thing. Okay. So as you can tell, I'm just pulling this deco mesh towards me. I'm actually like gathering it in about 1/2 inch pleats. I just have a couple more pieces to add. Deborah says, it is storming here in Ohio and my grandson Toby is spending the weekend. He chose to spend 30 minutes of his playtime with me watching my favorite artist. Toby said to tell you hi. Hi, Toby. And he really likes your Wreaths cat. Oh, thank you, Toby. That is so awesome. Donna asks, how do I feel about pastels? I can't get into it. So pastels like for fall, for Halloween, for Christmas, I think it would depend on the theme. So, for example, I can get into pastels if I'm putting together a Christmas candy themed wreath with like pinks and light blues and light greens. Like if you're gonna do like a Christmas bakery kind of wreath, I can definitely jump in on that. I've done that before. And what else? I can do light blue if I'm trending in the blue palette, like a navy blue, like a soft baby blue. And if I was doing something like that, it would be more along the lines for like a snowman, a winter, like a Jack Frost. I can definitely get into that. If it's like pink Santa, I feel for you, Donna. I don't think I can jump in on that one. That kind of falls in with that trendy thing, like almost leopard. If somebody asked me to make one specifically for them, I would definitely do it. Because you know that the stuff exists, it's just not for me. Right? So Cheryl says, yeah, it's pretty in the Candyland theme. And that's where you could do, or like I said, you can lean into the blue palettes and go Jack Frost Snowman, or you could do, I'm trying to think of what other colors would I do in a pastel for Christmas. That would probably be it. Esther says, what length are the deco mesh cut? It is cut at 20-inch pieces, 18 of them, and that will entire roll. So cutting 18 pieces at 20 inches will leave you with nothing at the end, which is good. No leftovers to store. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and put in our ribbon tails and half bows. And I thought, like just now I had a thought, I'm like, oh, I probably should have brought my scatters and fillers. We could have added some glitter balls to the end. But I'm not feeling this because I have a different, I'm going with like holly in this is my theme.
You want me to go get this one?
No. No, because I remembered exactly like what I was doing. See, this is it. It's like, while I'm creating, I'm like thinking like, oh, I could have also done this, or I could have also done that. And yeah. So 14 inches for the 2.5-inch ribbon tails. The 1.5 inches are cut to 19 inches. And I love this ribbon. It's got little snowball on the end. That's what it's edged with. So I'm just bringing my dovetailed edges together, going up about 2 inches, and I just kind of pinch those in. And I'm going to tuck that inside and give it twist, twist, twist. The holly ribbon's pretty. Yeah. Ugh, that's coming in the kit for September. It's really pretty. The holly ribbon that's coming. And I've even started working on the kit for October's, which is going to be winter's. So I already put in my request for, I'm like, this is the direction I'm seeing the group headed for our winter theme. You know, I think last year we did a rose gold and a sage green. And so I'm going with a different color palette with that. Yeah, it does, right? But you're like the queen of vintage now, Cheryl. I saw your Santa wreath. That is like my favorite. It's like my favorite. And I'm like, that's not going to last very long. Somebody needs to see that because it's going to get sold. You're so welcome, Esther. She said, thank you. I love your videos. Okay, so this is exactly what we're doing. So these are what I call half bows. When I created the half bow look, it was because a lot of people at that time, when I started doing this 7 years ago, people would just do like crisscross ribbons, like they would put 1.5 inches with a 2.5 inch, and they wouldn't put anything else in there. So it'd just be this weird crisscross pattern, which is okay. But I was like, man, for the weirdest reason, my eye is drawn to the center because for me, it looks unfinished. And so what I'm talking about crisscross wise is when people would take their ribbons and they would kind of do this and they would put that in their wreaths, and there was never anything in the center. And I'm like waiting. Okay, what are you going to put in the center? Okay, what are you going to put in the center? And then nothing goes in the center. And I'm like, I just want to fix that. So I came up with the half bow. And that was a way to give it a finished look that was a little bit different at the time. It's your favorite too? It is my favorite. I actually found myself looking at your wreath today when I was putting this one together because, I was struggling. I'll be honest, I was struggling. Just looking at the ribbon that I had available, and I totally forgot I had all my 50-yard spools someplace else. So when I was looking for ribbon, I'm just looking at the shelf that I have that just stores like all the traditional color Christmas, like the reds, the greens, red, green, gold, white. And then it would be like, I have Santa ribbon, and I'm like, I just feel like for this design, and this snowball was just catching everywhere on everything. So I had to trim that up. But I love how you did yours in reds and golds, and it just really went well with the sign. I just felt that all of your designs on that wreath, from your ribbon selection to your bow, it was just so well done. I was like, this is my favorite out of all the ones that you've done. It's gonna sell this year. Okay, so again, let me finish this one and then I'll go over what I'm doing, the steps, because it's supposed to be a teaching video. So let me go back to that, and then I'll walk you through exactly what I'm doing in every single one of the 12 outside pipe cleaners, because this is going to be around my sign, because that sign is going to take up a lot of real estate. And when I was looking at it, I'm like, man, everything is like, the Merry Christmas is like right across the top, and then there's the big giant Santa. I'm like, where am I going to put a bow? Things that you think about when you're putting your design together. Okay. So let me show you. I always just prep my deco mesh because, like, if I'm looking at it right here, I can see that this piece that is in there is like hanging way over. So I just take it and twist it just like this piece. And I just make sure I get those out of the way so that all of those ribbon tails are going to sit in there. Just like this one is leaping in front of this. So I've got to take that and pull that back around so that it will lay flat. Then what I'm doing is I'm taking my ribbon tails, folding them in half to find the true center. This way it's even on both sides. Put that right into the center of the pipe cleaner, twist it once, and then put my fingers underneath the ribbon and get that to fan up and out. Because when you put it in, it wants to kind of turn into like a bowl shape. It doesn't work very well. It doesn't look good when you're trying to fluff your ribbons. And then we're going up about 2 inches, pinching in, dovetail edges together, and then that is going right in the center of our pipe cleaner. And then we're going to twist about 3 or 4 times. We're going to snip that off. Then there's the little tail that's there. We're going to take that little tail and take it all the way around the back of that loop so we don't see it. Then open the loop. You're going to go ahead and, this one is wrong side, so I have to flip that upside down so that you can see all the ribbon all the way around. Just like that. Those little cotton balls are getting stuck in everything it could catch on. Literally every piece. And let me tell you where the ribbon is from. I know that this Christmas plaid, it was from Joann's last year. When all their ribbon went on sale at like 80 or 90%, I went and got like a 50-yard spool of this because I love the traditional Christmas plaid. The holly ribbon that I'm using right here is from Craft Outlet. The little snowball edge ribbon, when they had it, was Craft Outlet. And the holly ribbon with the little chenille edge used to be Craft Outlet. I don't know that they have it anymore. I know they don't have any more of the snowball ones. That is like long gone. And they should have brought it back, because if you can't give me a Christmas print or a pattern, I would definitely love this all day long. That little snowball edge, that could be like reminiscent of like Santa's hat. Darlene, she said, how long is the ribbon cut at? So the 2.5-inch pieces are cut to 14 inches. The 1.5 inches are cut to 19 inches for the half bows. And that's just based on my preference, because I like my ribbon to come out at the same edge where my deco mesh does. So that's why 14 inches is why I do that. I want them to end where my deco mesh ends. I just want them all the way out. Hey Judy, long time no see. She said, hi Kat and everyone. And so, Cheryl, my little magic bag is also my trash bag for all my ribbon pieces and my little chenille stems that I'm cutting off. So then I can just pick the whole thing up, take it outside, throw it away. But what do you guys think of the ribbon for this? This feels Christmassy, right? The ribbon. Like if you didn't know that this was a Christmas wreath, I would hope that based on the ribbon, you're thinking, thinking she's making Christmas. Cheryl says, no Steve tonight. He's sitting here. He's just not saying anything.
I'm just recovering from my drive.
He had a long drive in from Washington, like northern Washington today. So, what time did you leave? 2?
Before 2.
Before 2, so it took you
3 hours and 20 minutes.
3 hours and 20 minutes to get home. Right, Pam? She says it's a multi-purpose bag. I love that. Imagine people selling those. This is a wreath, like a wreath maker's toolkit. It is the multi-purpose bag. It can carry your deco mesh in from your worksite location to wherever you need to carry your materials. And then it could also act as a trash bag. It could technically also act as a shopping bag. Well, our wreath wouldn't be able to fit in there. Oh. So Cheryl says, well, there you are. I'm so sorry about how far you have to drive. Yeah. Pam said, hi, Steve.
Hi, everybody.
Cheryl says, I think you might put those magical bags in your shop, right? Hey, you never know. You just never know. You never know what sells. See, I'm so used to always disposing from my left hand, so I just feel so sorry for their chickens, how hot it is. I have to, when I finish here, I'm going to go outside and turn. We have a sprinkler that sits in their chicken coop, and so when the sun goes down, we turn it on so that it soaks everything. And then that makes them really happy because they're able to run around and cool themselves off. Today I made them frozen vegetable little blocks of ice. They were like little, I don't know, it was probably like a 3-inch by 3-inch square. I took a brownie pan that I had and I scooped out corn and peas, and then I just put that in water and I froze them in the brownie pan and threw them in overnight so that, because I knew this today would be super hot. And I thought, well, we'll take them out there in the hottest part of the day and they can just kind of peck away at the corn and the peas and hopefully cool themselves off. You would think that worked, right? Well, the first obstacle I had to face was, how does one get their frozen vegetable little cubes out of a metal muffin brownie pan? And I was like, I tried doing it with a knife and it wasn't working. And then I Googled it. And I'm like, how do I get my frozen ice cubes out of a brownie pan? And they said, just run it, flip it upside down, run it under hot water, and then they'll come out. And sure enough, they did that. So I just toted out like 4 of them and let them just spend the day picking away at the corn so they can cool off. And I think tomorrow I'm going to make them one with oats and sunflower seeds and mealworms in it. That's the wrong color, Kat. So it's something that will keep them busy. And I think tomorrow, I'm hoping and praying that tomorrow's the last day, because the flyers are just having a field day out here. Thankfully, they're not too close, but they are close enough that when the wind shifts, like I guess in Oregon, there's a lot of fires. And so we're having to breathe in all of that smoke. But then the one that we have, what is it, like half hour from us?
Yeah.
About a half hour. And I know that doesn't seem like it's very far away, like less than 30 miles, but I'm confident it's on the other side of the freeway. But then we have one south of us. That's the one that concerns me, because that can come over the major highway if the wind is blowing from the wrong direction. So I'm hoping it'll start blowing south. It's what we need it to do. Blow it back on itself. Okay. All those are done. Just fluffing the last one up. So Judy says, yeah, sold our home, both retired, been kind of moving around visiting people, but now we're settled down in Grass Valley, California. Nice. We bought a property with our daughter and family. That's nice. I like that. What did I call them? Family compounds when you move with your family. Cheryl says, are the newbies being nice to Betty yet? Sometimes they are, sometimes they're not. It just depends on what she's doing and what they want. And Cheryl says, gosh, I bet you thought you were getting away from the fires when you moved from California. Yeah, we never really worried about them in California because we're in the desert. I'm like, what's going to burn? Nothing. And Deborah says, okay, I'm going for gold here, Kat. How do you go about picking your colors? Mesh, pipe cleaners. How do you pick your ribbon to go so well with everything in your wreaths? I'm really struggling here. So, Deborah, when I'm doing my picking, for me, you have a focal point. For me, it was the sign. And so when I'm looking at my sign, I'm like, well, I kind of feel like this is asking for traditional colors, like red, gold, white, and green. And so when I took the sign and I laid it on green mesh, it really made the red come alive, even though there's not really an awful lot of green in here. It just made the red pop. If I put this sign on red, it kind of washed everything out. And then from there, I just look at little hints or clues from the sign, like the holly. I happened to have holly ribbon, so I went with that. And then I just leaned into those traditional colors for Christmas, like the plaid, the red. And most of the time, I'm always going to do a 6 ribbon bow. So I usually find 2 2.5 inch, and then 4 1.5 ribbons that'll kind of go with this. And like I said, it's really easy if all you want to do is red, green, and white and gold. You can find those ribbons all over the place. It's hard finding ribbon now that is themed to go with whatever we're pulling from. Judy said, we lost 5 chickens. Skunks got them. Wow. I would have never thought that.
Yeah.
We lost 2 of our 3 when the raccoon got them. And she said, our son-in-law has built a fortress for them. And you know what? You do. So you can see that when I place this on the center of our wreath, it really does not leave an awful lot of room for anything else. So you're thinking about things from, okay, do you center the Merry Christmas? Like, do you center the words? Do you center your sign with the way that Santa's facing? And then if we're going to add a bow, what is going to be impacted if we put that? So it's like Merry would be impacted. Christmas would be impacted. We can go down here for a lower right, or we can go a lower left. And then, taking away holly on either side is okay because the other side still has it available. I think what I'm going to do is go for a lower right. It's always so hard looking at it. Yes, lower right. So I'm going to kind of put my bow right here. so that you can still see everything based on the sign. So let's go ahead and make the bow. And then we will make the, I think I have them all, 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I have 4. So we have the ones that we've been working with on half bows and tails with. So like I said, craft outlet for the win on this one. This was Joann's. This one was craft outlet when they had it. This one says 5th Street Studio, but I happen to know that craft outlet carries it because I just saw it today. But honestly, 5th Street Studios on Etsy may have a lot of the old ribbon rolls that are like what we're looking for right now, like themed for the holidays instead of just straight colors. Cheryl says the same thing. Bottom bow with long tails might work too. I thought about that. We'll make the bow and then we'll figure out where we want to put him. So for the win, I'm going to go, I want to put the holly on the outside for sure, and then come in with that red. But then I've also added green velvet, which I love. This was from Craft Outlet, and then this gold, because there's just little elements of gold both in the ribbon and around the parts of the sign. So I'm thinking it's going to look like that, stack-wise. So we're breaking these up. Yeah. And it's weird because I'm like, here's your solids, right? But then there's solid with a little fun edge. Okay. So we are doing Bodabra, and we're going to build this whole thing. So the first thing I want to do is put a dovetail edge on this. So I'm just bringing my wired edges together. I'm going to cut from my fold down to the wired point. So the destination is always going to be the same. We're always heading our scissors towards the destination point. And then that gives you a really pretty dovetail, ducktail, fishtail, whatever you want to call it. But we want this one to come out 10 inches, and we're going to gather, and we're going to twist. And then we're going to bring this up and around, twist it again, slide that right in. I'm going to take my Bodabra and lay it right on that 10-inch line so the center lines up here, so that when I go and I stretch out my ribbon loop, it ends right here at 5.5 inches. I'm going to do the same on the other side. And just verify that I am at 5.5. That's like 5. And that was like 5 3/4. And then I'm going to stretch this out 10 inches, cut that, put a dovetail end on it, and that one is finished. So there's one of 6. And then we're going to do our holly. I have it holly without the red chenille, and I have it with the fuzzy. I just like it when they do that. There's that dovetail end. This one we're going 9.5 inches. So right at 9.5, we're gathering, twisting, slide that in. And then we're going to go for 5-inch loops, meaning when I take my Bodabra, line it up on the 10-inch line, when I go and I pull this out, I want the end to end at 5 inches, which is right there. And this just yields me a bow that I'm very comfortable with. It's an 11-inch in diameter bow based on the loops, not on the tails. If we did it off of the tails, it would be a 20-inch in diameter bow. Okay, bringing that in. And then being precise on the measurements just means that when I go to fluff it, I know that my ends, all my tails are the same on both sides. The loops are the same on both sides. I don't really have that wonky piece where one's bigger than the other. Okay, there's that one. And then we're gonna go with the green. I think I wanna do the gold. Gold first, then the green. And then this one is filled with glitter. So, yay, glitter in my house. Not. This is gonna be everywhere. Having it in my shop was nice. And you can see it's just like all over the place right now. This one's gonna be 9 inches. And then we're gonna go for a 4.5-inch loop. So again, just kind of gauge it, but always bring it back and measure it. And this ribbon is from Shinoda, which is a design wholesaler in Southern California, which has an amazing supply for a wreath maker. That was, to me, like I died and went to wreath maker's heaven. Everything you could possibly want was there. Okay. I'm going to move this all the way off. You can see all the sparkles. Okay, now we're doing green velvet, which I love. This again, craft outlet for the win. Such a good quality ribbon. This one will be 8.5 inches. And we're gonna do another 4.5-inch loop. So, because we've already done it on the bottom with the gold, we just put our fingers in the bottom and then pull. Because we've already done the measurement on the loops. But we will still have to bring it back to measure this out for the tail. Such a pretty ribbon. Oh my. I think I would buy lots more of this because I love the emerald green. Okay, now we have, I'm hoping we have enough of this. Huh?
Is there more in the shop?
No. Nope. We will see. So we're going to do 8 inches. We'll see if we do. We're doing a 4-inch loop. I'm trying to get it to go to 4. Yeah, we will. Yay! 4 inches. We will have just enough to finish this. There's 8. There we go. And I literally think that's it. Right there on that ribbon. Wow, there's more on there than what I thought. So we probably have enough that I can put this in a little tail. Like if I added this to like the top for an accent bow, I would have just enough to do that. Okay. Now we're doing our holly. Dovetail end. Right, Cheryl says you'll find glitter in your house from now till Valentine's Day. It'll be from now until forever. 7.5 inches is the tail length. 3.5 inches will be the loop length. I'm always just kind of gauging it just based on, like, you know, coming up a little 1/2 inch. It's like a game you can play. Are you accurate on your measurements? How close did you come? And then we're back out to 7.5. Okay, there's that one. Like, what ribbon did I forget? I'll just put this over here with the glittery gold. Okay. Grabbing a pipe cleaner. I think we'll grab green. I'm gonna just fold that into a U. I'm gonna pick this up and kind of drop that down in the center. I'm gonna hold it at the bottom and then just twist my whole stack. It just makes it so much easier for those of us with limited hand strength. Taking all this other stuff off the table. Bringing over what I need. Fluff board. And I'm still looking at the sign. I might want to do that at the bottom, because even if I just like kind of right there, we're still going to get all the ambiance, which means we have to fluff it differently if we're doing bottom, which is not a big deal. It's actually quite simple. We're going to pull all our ribbon tails to the bottom for a bottom bow. And then do the same on the other side. It's actually a quicker fluff this way. Okay, everything, all your tails are at the bottom because that's where they need to be. And then at the top, you're just going to take your top ribbons and you're going to do crisscross pattern with the first two. Just kind of like that. Or if you like them like this, you guys can do them that way. You don't have to do crisscross. And then you can do the same thing here. You might want to bring your gold up. You might want to bring your gold down and have it down here on the bottom. Whatever you would like. I'm going to bring the gold down. And then we're doing this one totally different. We can bring our plaid up and then the holly over here. And then we can do the same here. Whatever your preference is. And then just fluff everything to your heart's content. And then for these tails, we're just going to run them through our fingers. Just like this. And it's going to put that arch or little curl back in it, so that when we're laying it down on our wreath, it's just going to kind of mold its way down and around on everything we've done. Look how cute. And that is our bow. Just like that. And so I'm going to go ahead and pop this off. There we go. And we're going to go ahead and attach our sign. So I'm going to do this one for those of you that just are using pipe cleaners. And we're going to use our pipe cleaners with the holes that are already included on the sign. But I'm going to bring my pipe cleaner back, and then I'm going to just build right over my hole. Kind of creates a little 1/4 inch base. What that does is it allows your sign to lay flat on the wreath instead of doing it this way, right? Where it's more like a spinner. You get more flop. If we do it this way, it lays flat on the base of your deco mesh. For that, when we bring this over, remember those pipe cleaners that we removed from the center? Like this one? That is where we are going to use. I'm going to go ahead and just feed that in right to the bottom. So I'm always making sure I've got my pipe cleaner just below and just above my mesh. And actually on this one, because we're doing a bottom bow, I'm going to actually put my pipe cleaner through the mesh on the top rather than tuck my mesh under my sign. I'm just going to make sure that this goes right on top so that we don't have to do that. I'm going to bring this forward. And we'll pull this down right there. Give it a couple twists just in case we need to move it. But up here, now here's my other pipe cleaner. This one I am not going through the center. Of my mesh. So I'm going to bring my deco mesh out. And you're going to see I'm going to pull this down. And then we're going to pull all that mesh around the edge out. So right here, all the deco mesh edge that we have, we're going to pull those out. We're going to fluff our ribbons as we go around. Grab this one. Nice little fluffies. Okay, gonna grab the one up here. I just gotta find it. It's always hiding. But then right here at the bottom, we're gonna pull these 2 loops down so we get the bow in, and then we'll finish fluffing. So these are going to sit right there. So you just got to make sure, if you want a stable bow, make sure that you have your pipe cleaner one below and one above, so that your bow's not all flopping around, that it stays nice and solid like this. And then go ahead and give it some more fluff. Just like this. Nice pretty look. Okay. I can come in here. And I'm trying to find the edge of that, which is right here. I want this one under because it's coming from the front. I want this. There it goes. It was just way down below. So perfect space for that. Okay. this is where we're at. If you feel like your sign is sitting a bit low, that's why we didn't tighten anything down. You're just going to give it a little bump up so it doesn't feel like it's sunk to the bottom. This is a 12-inch sign, Cindy. It's like 11.75, honestly. Okay, just like that. And now what we're going to do a super simple embellishment, and we're going to be doing it only in the areas where we have the holly ribbon. So right in here, we have a holly bush. So these are what's called push-up picks, which means that you can push them high or low depending upon where you want that to wind up. And so we're going to be using 6 of the ones with the berries. And these are from Sims Pottery. So there's 1, 2, there's 3, 4, 5. I think I actually cut too many, but that's okay. So I'm going to place these little holly picks. So what I want to do is make sure that I bend the leaves to go around my finger so that they don't lay straight up and down. Like, that's not realistic for holly. Just like that, and they're going to kind of tuck in right here on either side of our ribbon loop. Okay, so if you ever notice that things start popping off your picks, like the berries just popped off, they'll snap back on, but you don't want them to continue to keep coming off. So I always add just a little bit of glue just to make sure that does not keep happening. Because I find out that like once it does it one time, they're like more prone to keep coming off the ends. And we're just going to tuck those in just like that. So we have some natural holly right around there. Do the same on all your other picks. Just kind of smooth your holly so they follow the curve of your finger. Same thing, all the leaves. Kind of push them up where you want them to go. Add glue to the end. There we go. And this one is going right here. Removing glue threads as we go all the way around. You could also take a mini steamer. You can steam them. You could get a mini iron with parchment paper, and you can iron them if yours are like really super smashed. There's creases in them you don't want them to have. But basically we're just trying to get them to form to the placement that I want. That's a little much. About 1.5 inches to the bottom. And I'm just laying these on either side of our ribbon so that the holly berry is right in the center. Just like that. I just kind of felt like the holly needed to be preeminent in this. I mean, you could have put Christmas packages in there. That would have been a good theme. I'm trying to think of like what else. You could have put balsam picks in here and that would have worked. You know, like little pine branches with some pine cones. I just kind of took the nod from the little holly right here on the end. And so that's why I'm doing the little holly. And here's my last one. Looking to see if I have a better one in here. Yes, I do. That one just has a warped leaf that I'm going to be struggling with too much. Because I have my mini steamer and iron in the shop. So we'll go up. Take that off because we don't need it that long. A little bit shorter. We'll add this last one right in here. Ooh. I'm just using the weight of the Decor mesh to kind of help hold this one in place. Just like that. And I think for me, this one is just being really difficult. So we're going to give him some help and put him in the place that I want him to stay, which is right here off to the side. And so now he'll stay there. Okay. This one's doing the same thing. But we have our ribbon, which will help. Okay, last little piece that I'm going to do. I'm going to try to find one that's fairly decent, like this one. And we're going to put this in the center of our bow. But I'm going to take out one of my leaves. Bring that way down so that that's right in the center. Just kind of looking at where do I want that to kind of fit. Take that even further. I'm going to go ahead and glue the tip so that that does not go any further. And I'm going to glue the back side. And then I'm just going to lay this right in the center of my bow, just like that, so that that holly theme runs all the way around. And let me show you what it looks like. And then I want to do a giveaway. So hang tight. We're going to do a giveaway too. So this is the final design. Just like this. Let me spin this around so you guys can see it. Move these off to the side. And then I'll show you what we're giving away. Because remember I told you I have an overabundance of Christmas signs? We are going to give away some signs. Okay. Hi, Jenny. Okay, so that is the final design. for Vintage Santa. Okay, babe.
I need to pick a number.
Yeah. So there are 28 people on this live right now. So let me show you what we're doing. So this is the sign bundle that I'm going to give away. So, and I'll give you all the sizes too. This is an 8 by 10. It is a puppy, a rabbit, and a panda. Well, oh, and a raccoon. They're like carolers. So we're going to do that sign. We are also doing an 8 by 10. It says, "Let there be peace on earth," with Santa and his forest friends. And then we're going to do an 8 by 8 with the snowman. So with 28 people, I need you all to pick a number between 1 and 50. And the person that comes closest without going over the number that Steve has in his head will win the pack of signs. So, pick a number, y'all. Go ahead and comment your number. Pam says 33. Linda has 47. Miss Flo has 24. Mary has 23. Judy has 32. Robin has 25. Beverly's 48.
Charlotte's 25.
How did I get?
Julia has 3. Andrea has 35. Donna has 45. Susan says 42. You said 1 to 50, right?
1 to 50. 50.
There's only 28 people, and we just do one at.
No, because I'm giving people the opportunity. Otherwise, then you're going to get people who have an overlap of the same number. Do you have your number picked?
Oh yeah, I have picked the whole time.
What?
I can't tell you.
Okay. Yeah, only once, Pam. Ruth says 41.
And you can keep picking until somebody gets it.
Oh, so I guess,
Right?
no, we're going to let people vote once.
Well,
Just one
if
time.
nobody gets it, then what?
The person who gets it closest. So Jan says 27. Jenny has 45. Ruth has 41. Donna has 40. Kelly has 18. It has to be without going over.
Oh, it does?
That's what I just said. Kelly said,
They're all voted.
have we gotten all 30 of you to pick a number? Or somebody waited until the very, very, very end to see what all the other numbers were, and then they're like, I'll pick my number. Okay, let's see. So this is the sign bundle that you guys get. I think it stopped with Kelly at 18.
Yeah.
Sherry said 27. I think we had 27 done like 2 or 3 times. Still don't have it yet. Have you all voted? Beverly says 48. So we're going with the number that is closest to what we picked without going over. So for example, if the number is 20 and somebody had 21 and somebody had 19, I'm going to go with the person who had 19. Steve, do you want people to keep guessing until somebody gets it?
I would say, yeah, just keep guessing until somebody gets it.
Okay, Steve says keep guessing because nobody has hit his number yet. So Jenny and Pam, I guess that answers your question. You guys can keep going until somebody hits the number that he has in his head. So Jenny said 31. Nope, that's not it. Robin has 8. That's not it. Pam said 21. That's not it.
Nope.
Miss Flo said 2. Julia says 13. Pam says 14.
Nope, not it yet.
Still not it. Donna 35. Linda says 36. Miss Flo said 50. Nope.
Cheryl says 15.
Audrey says 10. Donna said 12.
Pam says.
Donna Butler Eswin. That is the number.
I didn't even see
that. I'm going to go ahead and put a little heart next to Donna's. Let me do that. All right, Donna. You won the sign bundle. The number was 12. It's right under Audrey's 10. And right above Pam's 19. All right. So Donna, I need you to send me an email. I'm going to go ahead and put my email address here at the bottom. It's going to be info at KatsCreationsNMore. Providing that I can actually spell. Info at KatsCreationsNMore.com with your mailing address so I can get these out to you on Monday, and I'll send these on their way. So we're going to do this until I thin out my collection. We'll probably do it at least every Friday through the month of September. Yeah, so come join me on Fridays, and at the very end, we'll always do a signed bundle giveaway.
And spread the word.
And spread the word and tell people, hey, come join. So Donna, these are yours. All right, everyone, thanks for joining, and I will talk to you soon. Bye for now.